Okay, this is from Abraham Maslow, and it's entitled Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. And it asks, what are your views regarding Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and how does this apply to your life? Okay, this is a very famous construct. It's very famous in psychology and sociology, and I think it's very useful. As far as I know, this is kind of an aside, but it's probably worth mentioning. As far as I know, Abraham Maslow was Jewish. Sigmund Freud was Jewish. Karl Marx was Jewish. Jesus Christ was Jewish. So I'm not Jewish, okay? But just so you know, just so you know, I think Mark Zuckerberg is Jewish. Just so you know, Bob Dylan, his real last name is Zimmerman. He's Jewish, and so forth. Anyway, very successful people. But this is not Maslow's original work. You know, when you're famous, you start to get a following, like an Instagram. Okay, but this is a little bit different. We didn't have Instagram back in the. I think this goes back to, I think, the 1950s. But he has a following to this day. People who believe in his work and continue to write about his work, and so his followers, some of his followers, expanded his pyramid and made it bigger, because his pyramid had, I think, 4 or 5 tiers, and this pyramid has like let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they basically doubled the size of his pyramid, but it's still very good. In fact, I think they've improved it, to be honest with you. Okay, and they talk about the pyramid being divided into deficiency needs and growth needs. Now, by deficiency needs, they mean that if you're not fulfilling these needs, you're going to feel some kind of deficiency, like you're going to walk around like not feeling well. Okay, and the growth needs are for those individuals who have fulfilled the deficiency needs, like the persons who don't have any deficiencies and are looking to grow as individuals or as human beings. Okay, so let's start at the bottom of the pyramid and talk about physiological needs. Now, by physiological needs, we mean things like the need for food. Okay, as you know, without food, we will die. And the need for hydration, like especially water, but also things like orange juice or apple juice, beer and wine, tequila. I don't know. If we probably don't need those. Okay, but they do help to hydrate you in moderate amounts. Okay, let me repeat that: in moderate amounts. Okay, and once you have your physiological needs met. Oh, the other one that I should mention has to do with sex, because this one is kind of a gray area. If you ask most men, they'll say it's a physiological need. Like if you ask like Tiger Woods, Dr. Nassar, Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, former President Bill Clinton, maybe former President John Kennedy, they'll probably say yes, it's a physiological need. But not everybody agrees with that. Some people say, no, you don't need it. It's not a necessity. I don't know. Okay, you tell me. Okay, you tell me what you think. Okay, but once you have your physiological needs met, then what emerges next are the safety needs, the need for safety. Because if you're hungry or thirsty, you're not going to be too concerned about safety. You're going to be out there hunting down an animal or looking for water like that. I mean, which could put your life in danger, right? Like if, say, 1,000 or 2,000 years ago, human beings had to go out and hunt animals, and sometimes the hunter became the hunted. Right? They go out to hunt some kind of animal, and what happens is they got hunted themselves, right? So once you have physiological needs, you're going to look for safety. You want to feel safe at home, safe on your block, safe in your neighborhood, safe in your car, safe at work, safe in school, like that. You're looking for that, okay? And to exemplify that, currently we have thousands of migrants moving from Central America and now also Brazil, walking to the border between Mexico and the United States. And they're presently at the border. Okay, and they're They're migrating because they don't feel safe in their country. I mean, they're also migrating because the income opportunities are not particularly good. They're much less than they are here. That's one of the reasons they're migrating. But the other, I think, probably more important reason that they're migrating is because they fear for their lives and the lives of their family members. I think so. They've seen so many homicides and murders in their neighborhoods that they feel that they need to get out. Okay, so that's the next, safety. Once you have your physiological needs met and your safety needs, then people look for belonging and love. Like, okay, I've got enough food to eat, I've got enough hydration, I'm safe. I want to belong to something. I want to be on a soccer team. I want to belong to university. I want to belong to a Rotarian club, whatever. Belong to something. Right? And the people begin to look for love. I want to love somebody. I want somebody to love me, like that, right? Because your stomach is full and you're not thirsty and you feel safe. And at that point, then people begin to look for love. If people don't feel safe and they're hungry and they're thirsty, they're not thinking about love. They're thinking about surviving. Okay, love, what the heck? Who cares about love? I just don't want to get killed here, or I don't want to starve to death. Right? At that point, people look for belonging and love. Okay, and then once you have that need met, the need for belonging and love, then people will look for esteem. Then people will look for self-esteem. Like they want to feel good about themselves. Because if you're hungry or thirsty or you're in danger, you're not concerned about your self-esteem. You're just concerned about surviving. You're like, who cares what people think about me? And I don't know. You're not thinking about yourself. You just think about surviving. Okay. But at that point, people, they want to feel good about themselves. Like, I'm a good person. I'm an intelligent person. I'm a beautiful woman or a handsome man, whatever. Self-esteem. At that point, that's when people start getting plastic surgery, I think. If they, some people start getting plastic surgery to feel better about themselves. Okay. Once you have that your self-esteem needs met, or people do, then the next level up are the cognitive needs, meaning that people have a need to know things. Like they want to know about the universe and about the earth and about the world and about psychology and about people and about other cultures and other continents and other religions and mathematics and science and like that, languages, right? They want to know things, right? Partly out of natural curiosity, but also partly to be able to navigate better on this planet, right? So, but the more you know, the better you can understand what's happening in the world, in your world, and the better you can navigate in your path or your journey on the planet, right? So that's the cognitive coming to the forefront. And I would say most students are there. Most students are at the cognitive need level. If the average person in the world is not making $1,000 a month, most people in the world probably have their physiological needs met and their safety needs met and their belonging and love needs met. Maybe their self-esteem needs met, maybe not. Maybe not, because if you're living a life of poverty, it's going to be hard to have self-esteem. Like, let's say you live in a little house and it's not very nice and your street is kind of not nice and your neighborhood is not nice. It's going to be hard for you to have good self-esteem. I mean, self-esteem is something that you feel on the inside and that you build on your own. You should build on your own. You shouldn't have to depend on people to say nice things to you. Okay, you shouldn't have to have people tell you, "Oh, you're so nice, you're so smart, you're so beautiful." That should be nice. Self-esteem is something that comes from the inside. But if you're living in a miserable environment, I think you realize that your life is not particularly good, and that will probably have a negative impact on your self-esteem. So I think most people on the planet are probably there. They're trying to build their self-esteem. Given that most people don't make $1,000 a month. Okay, they've got all the other needs, but they're trying to feel better about themselves. Okay, most students I think are at the cognitive need level. What they wanted to learn, right, and grow intellectually. Cognitive comes from the word cognition, means to think. Okay, now once you have those needs met, but then the next level up are aesthetic needs. Most students are not there, okay, because most students don't have the money that it requires to fulfill aesthetic needs. Okay, they're going to school, maybe working, and they're struggling to graduate. But people are at the aesthetic need level. They're looking for beauty. Okay, they're looking for beautiful house, beautiful car, beautiful street, beautiful neighborhood, beautiful art in their home. Sometimes maybe they're looking for a beautiful wife or beautiful husband. Maybe get divorced. Okay, I gotta find me a beautiful wife or a beautiful husband. Maybe, I don't know. Our divorce rate in the United States is like 50%, and it'd be interesting to look at divorce along these dimensions. When does divorce take place? But they're looking for beauty, beautiful music, beautiful food. Okay. So and actually, I think people start going like to Japanese restaurants, and they order these beautifully decorated Japanese dishes, right, like that. So, and I think I've noticed that. I think Japanese food, from my experience, tends to be popular in high-income neighborhoods, upper-income neighborhoods, like that. And it's partly, I think, has to do with the beauty of the presentation, I think. Okay, so that's that at that level. Now, once you have your aesthetic needs met, then the next level up is self-actualization. People want to be everything that they can be. Right? They want to be like, kind of like Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo, right? Like, be all you can be. Like, you don't want to be a factory worker for the rest of your life. Like, I work at a factory and I do the same thing over and over again, every day for the rest of my life. I mean, maybe if that was like your dream life, maybe then you could say, well, you're self-actualized. But I don't think so. I don't think that qualifies, in my opinion. Okay. Usually self-actualization means that you become everything you can be. That you're using your skills and talents to do wonderful things. I was going to say fabulous. Let's say fabulous or incredible or wonderful things. Usually the person that people refer to as an example of a person who's reached self-actualization is Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso is considered the most important painter of the last century. And he spent his life making these very interesting paintings. I don't know if you like his paintings, but they're quite interesting. and he, he's painting these interesting paintings and making tons of money and living this wonderful life. Painting stuff, making paintings. I mean, I paint too. I painted this house, okay, inside and outside, but that doesn't count. That does not count for self-actualization. That's just a job, okay, and like that. I think in my view, a more contemporary person, I think, an example of a self-actualized person would be the guitar player Carlos Santana. All he does is play guitar. I mean, he does other things. He does charity work, and, he does other things. But basically, what he does is play guitar, and he's made millions of dollars, and he's become world renowned. He's probably today he's probably the most famous guitar player who ever lived today. I would say, probably more than any other. Just playing guitar. He just last month he bought a $22 million home in Hawaii. I think he has a $5 million home in Las Vegas. And he probably has other houses. Okay, playing guitar. Okay, I make money painting this house. Right? So that's self-actualization. But I'm a college teacher. So that's the next level. Okay, and I would say that probably most Californians are probably at the aesthetic need level. Probably most, maybe 60–80% of the Californians are there. What I mean by that is that most Californians have a nice car and they live in a nice place. They have pretty nice streets, pretty nice neighborhoods. So they're at the aesthetic need level. You go inside their homes, they have nice furniture, nice things, So I think most Californians are at the aesthetic need level. And only some people can move up to the self-actualization level, including college teachers, maybe. Okay, and that's the way it goes. Now, the final level in this pyramid, they're referring to as transcendence, meaning going beyond who you are. And most people transcend through their children. so that when they pass away, their children continue their life's work. Well, your children will continue your genetics and your DNA, right? That your genetics and your DNA will continue through your children in some modified fashion. But in a sense, your life continues through your children for most people. For some people, they transcend through their work, like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, many, right? Sigmund Freud, Karl Marx, and so forth. Many people, they transcend through their work. And the work becomes, in a sense, immortal. I mean, within the confines of the human experience, okay? What else can we say? I mean, we don't know what immortal is or if it exists, but within the human experience, their work has become immortal. Whether it's Da Vinci or Michelangelo or Karl Marx, Sigmund Freud, Pablo Picasso, right? These people have transcended way beyond who they were as human beings, because they were just persons like you and I, right? But their life's work is Shakespeare, is, you could say, immortal, right? It's a kind of transcendence. So that's the final stage. Most people cannot get through. Most people cannot get through. Even if you write a book, even if you write a song, even if you write a poem, whatever, most songs, most poems, most books will eventually end up in the heap of humanity, okay? Meaning in the trash. Okay, only some people can transcend to the work, like William Shakespeare, for example, Jesus Christ, for example. Okay? So tell me about this. How does this apply to your life? Okay, let's go to the next slide.